microphone checker, microphone checker, microphone checker, microphone checker, microphone checker, microphone checker.
This is the Deuce Detonator, DJ Too Tuff of the legendary Tuff Crew, and you checking out Mic Check Media. Listen up and rock on.
Yo, what up? This your man K Boogie. The Pioneers of Hip-Hop series is rolling right along, man. We got legendary DJ in the house, man. We got DJ Too Tuff of the Tuff Crew. What's good with you,
baby?
What's
going on, Mic Check Media?
Oh, man, no doubt. Hey, first off, man, on behalf of myself and Carolyn and Mic Check Media, man, we definitely want to say thank you for taking time out your schedule, man, to definitely talk with us, man, and go in with us. We appreciate you.
Not a problem at all. Always looking to expose myself a little bit more in areas that may not be familiar with the Tuff Crew sound and the Tuff Crew legacy.
Definitely, no doubt. So let's just go, roll right into it. Let's take it back a little bit, if you would, to the beginnings of the Tuff Crew and how, you guys got together and how everything came about.
Well, the beginnings of Tuff Crew started in Philadelphia in a location called Hart Park, which was on 4th and Master, between Master and Jefferson, which is in the Badlands of Philly, in North Philly. There used to be a breakdance group. They used to do shows throughout Philly when Mayor Wilson Good was the mayor of Philadelphia. He used to run a anti-graffiti network breakdance battle series throughout the city. So, we used to bring out the big scoops and my turntables, and we used to bang the music all out in this little park called Hart Park. And the lead dancer of SCR, which was the name of the breakdance crew, which stood for Street City Rockers, was Ice Dog. Ice Dog used to spit here and there. So one day we were out there and they got the linoleum down and the cardboard, and everybody got their shell-top Adidas with the thick laces and Kangos, and this is like the essence of hip-hop, the origin. And Stu pulls up in a limousine, and we're shocked to see it. And in the limousine was Tony Mitchell, who would eventually become our manager shortly after that. And he said he was putting together a rap group, and with him he had L.A. Kid and Tone Love. So I was obviously the DJ for those breakdance sessions that we used to do. And with a little bit of negotiations, and, we were shocked that somebody came along and said he was putting together a rap group just out of the clear blue sky. Even to this day, I don't really know how he found us. I guess it was through word of mouth that we was, doing some functions in this little park. And about a month later, we ended up doing our first show as Tuff Crew together with me as the DJ at the Philadelphia versus New York battle at the Philadelphia Spectrum, which also featured, other than Tuff Crew, it featured Dougie Fresh, Slick Rick, Salt and Pepper, LL Cool J, Steady B, Jazzy Jeff, Cutmaster DC, DJ Cash Money, a whole slew of Philly and New York acts that they had formatted in a battle situation where, one Philly group would go on, one New York group would go on. And the first song that we did on that was, the first song that we actually did together as Tuff Crew was Philly Style. Okay. And, I actually wasn't on that record. I joined the group just after they dropped that record. The original DJ for Tuff Crew was named Shiver. And we eventually, worked out a situation where we worked with two DJs for a short time period. And then, as history would have it, and I just kind of was able to put down my legacy with the quickness of my cuts. And, that's why they call me the Axeman, the Terror, the Deuce's Detonator, DJ Deuce's Detonator, Too Tough. Like, Ice Dog was a really tremendous MC as far as keeping my name in almost every line and every song and just showing the relationship between MC and DJ. So, Tuff Crew came together and we just had that perfect chemistry from 4 almost strangers to 6 months of working together. We came up with the Danger Zone album. Prior to the Danger Zone album, we did do a release called Fan Jam. That featured the Crown Ruler, so it had 6 songs from Tuff Crew, 2 songs from Crown Rulers, and we wouldn't have been able to get that album done at all without the help and production technique teachings of ultramagnetic MCs, Kool Keith and Said G, because they were really instrumental in teaching us how to make beats and how to just have that New York style where everybody in Philly had a certain style. We came off with a different style, which was like a dope style at that time, where we sampled like obscure break beats, and a lot of that stuff, you know, turned out to be Tough Crew classics.
Oh, man, and, you know, just to hear that, you know, pretty much under the setup of ultramagnetic MCs, man, that's, you know, definitely legendary within itself. And I mean, you guys, you know, made history pretty much for Philly,
well,
man.
My manager had booked Ultramagnetic to come and perform at a few shows that he put together in Philly. And they ended up staying in Philly on an extended stay and ended up doing maybe 5 or 6 shows throughout Camden, Philadelphia, Delaware, and the tri-state area. So we got to spend a lot of quality time with Said G and Kool Keith, just learning the process of how they actually produce beats. And it was so much different than what they were doing in Philly at that time, because they were working with SP12. And everybody else in Philly was kind of working with, like, Roland 909s, the 808s, CR707s and stuff like that, RZ1, Casio RZ1s and stuff like that. We had all that equipment, but it just, to be able to sample and to have that much sampling time to chop up and grab, it was like heaven, you know. So you could just go and just grab stuff. A lot of the production of the early Tough Crew, and even up to, you know, to the latest stuff that we do, is kind of like DJ oriented between me and LA Kid, where I would like, a lot of the Tough Crew records were based on breaks that I used to cut for Ice to rhyme to.
Okay.
And we would just transform the actual break into a beat, lay it down as a sequence and sequence it up and make it sound like we were actually cutting the record live, but it would just be filled up and enhanced with 808s and kicks and snares and stuff like that. So that gave us like a, you know, a true original Tough Crew sound, which always featured the booming 808 bass, which is why we were like insanely popular in Miami and down south.
Definitely. Now, I mean, and then, you know, with the elements of hip-hop, you know, of course, MCing and then the DJ, I mean, it's something that you don't see today where, you know, I mean, of course, when the artists go on tour, you know, they have a tour DJ, but it's not like, you know, yourself, DJ Too Tuff, you know, Tough Crew, or, you know, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. You had Cash Money and Marvelous. I mean, it's just, you know, that element to me is missing from hip-hop. But then a cut master like yourself on the turntables, I mean, you're considered a forefather of, you know, the movement with the turntables. I mean, I'm sure you were heavy influential on a lot of DJs that came behind you.
Yeah, well, I mean, my hugest inspirations and the 2 DJs that, well, actually 3 DJs who influenced my style and my scratch technique were definitely Cash Money, Jazzy Jeff, and Terminator X. I mean, Cash Money's cuts were so sharp and precise that it was ridiculous. His speed is just unmatched. And Jazzy Jeff just had that smooth flow, the inventor of the Transformer. I mean, he may not be the inventor of the Transformer, but he was definitely the first one to make a record, which was live in Union Square with Fresh Prince, that featured the Transformer, him doing it live. So if he didn't invent the Transformer, he definitely popularized it to the whole world. And then Terminator X incorporated another element into my final overall scratch technique, so you would say, because he used to cut like wild bricks. And I mean, his scratches weren't really like a Philly DJ, but the track selection that Terminator X used was just Bomb Squad influenced, and it was just, they would use like outrageous samples that we never really heard before. They would use James Brown samples, but just flip them in a way that was like real hard. So a lot of the records that we made as Tough Crew were made off of the inspiration of other songs. Like It's Mad was a Public Enemy inspired beat. So we said, well, you know, Public Enemy's Jones is banging right now, so why don't we make a joint similar to Public Enemy production-wise, and, you know what I mean, pay them a little bit of homage. It wasn't biting at all. It was just homage. And, you know, so we would take, you know, just production style and rhyme styles from other MCs who were hitting at the time and do our own version of their style. And nobody ever really noticed that. So that was just like an inside secret on how Tough Crew chose to do music. We were definitely inspired by the peers who were recording and releasing records at the same time as we were.
And I know you mentioned, too, that because of, the bass and the beats, you were, got great support in Miami. And you also you toured with Two Live Crew. Luke
yeah,
Skywalker.
we were actually the second top billed group on the Two Live Crew Move Something tour. It was Two Live Crew, Tough Crew, Tone Loc, De La Soul, I think it was EPMD, Salt and Pepper, and K9 Posse. After performing on that tour, we also were added to the LL Cool J Nitro tour in about 5 or 6 different cities, and we also went on a little solo tour with, like I said, Ultramagnetic, and Tone Loc was also on that tour as well.
And that's a huge tour, man, with a lot of great artists that were on that tour, man. So I'm sure you guys, just the energy. So now, when you're putting together your shows, when you were doing your shows, what would you guys do? Was there anything that you guys did in particular to get the crowd hype, or to feed off the energy from the crowd?
I mean, the crowd's energy. If you're speaking about specifically in Miami, we actually went and after we toured Miami, maybe we did 2 shows down there, and Luke Skywalker brought us down there, and he was basically the mayor of Miami. So if you're talking about the inspiration and the feelings of feeding off of the crowd's energy in specifically Miami, then we actually did a song called Gimme Some, which talked about our whole experience in Miami. Since we highlighted the 808 bass in our songs, combined with, like I said, dope samples. I mean, when we used the 808, we weren't making it straight off the 808 where it was like 122 beats per minute, where it was sort of like breakdance material. We were using a little bit slower tempo, maybe around 110, because our Tough Crew songs were always slightly up tempo. You know what I mean? It wasn't 98
right.
or 80 beats per minute or some slow flow. It was more like that bass rock and stuff, but it just wasn't straight drums out of the drum machine. It was samples combined with drums out of the drum machine. So we were the first to incorporate outside snares from an 808 TR 909, 707, and put them over top of samples and basically kind of layer it.
Man,
but one thing about feeding off of that crowd energy, the one thing that we could always guarantee was when the record dropped and they heard those guitar plucks, the crowd goes wild. So you can't even, when that bass drops, you can't even, you can't even imagine the surge of energy that it gives you. There's no drug that can give you the equivalent of being on stage when that rock on drops.
Man, I could just, imagine that and see the crowd, especially in Miami, man. And with, like you said, Luke, man, he pretty much the mayor of Miami, man. Two Live Crew, you couldn't go wrong with that. And then with the vibe that Miami gives, it's just like different cities give different vibes, and Miami puts off a vibe, man, where it's automatically a party city. So I know, that had to have been a great time for you guys to be, hanging out there. And then I can imagine.
Actually, the first show that we did in Miami was on Christmas Day, and they had given away a certain amount of tickets to underprivileged youth in the Miami-Dade County area, which was like Liberty City projects.
Right.
And during our show, while we were doing my part of town, actually a gunfight broke out and shots were fired in the crowd, and we were on stage, and you could just see the whole crowd part in half like the Red Sea. And they immediately pulled us off stage, and we actually went back to the hotel room and were able to hear EPMD go on after they cleared up the little controversy and the cops came or whatever happened. They immediately pulled us off stage like Secret Service and ushered us back to the hotel room. So from our hotel room, we performed at Roberto Clemente Baseball Stadium. We could hear the music, EPMD playing Strictly Business from like 7 blocks away. And that night we actually made the 11 o'clock news because they were like, gunfire breaks out at Miami rap concert, and they had us, Tough Crew, when the shots were fired, actually. So that was kind of crazy.
Wow, man, I can imagine that had to be real crazy. Now, let's fast forward a little bit to 2013, man, and talk about, DJ Too Tuff and what you're doing now, and are you still out performing, or is it Tough Crew, still together doing things?
Yeah, well, definitely my solo DJ shows have been getting booked at an extraordinary rate recently. We did drop in 2008. I dropped Tough Crew, DJ Too Tuff's Lost Archives on Tracklick Entertainment. That was 17 previously unreleased Tough Crew songs that I did in conjunction with Ice Dog, Prime Minister Dope, Project Niggas, MC Mechanism, and Straight Business, which was a group that I produced myself from down Chester. Shout out to Class B and my man Shuja. Actually, my brother Shuja is now incarcerated for 17 and a half to 35 years, so I write him occasionally. But he was one of the members of Straight Business, which was a group in Chester, and I am just on the verge of remastering and re-releasing the Straight Business album, which is called Original Blunt Music. So a lot of the projects that I have planned for the immediate future are remastered projects of songs that were done between 94 and 97 that were never released, that feature all of the original members of Tough Crew or each individual member of Tough Crew in a solo capacity.
Wow, man. So definitely, that's, got a lot of music on deck that we're going to be looking forward to being released. You definitely got to keep us posted on that and when all that drops so we can definitely get it out, man, for sure.
I mean, Tough Crew as a group and as producers were always kind of like 10 years ahead of our time. So definitely. We have a backlog of 10 years worth of material that never really came out due to the breakup that occurred in 91. So, why not release the classic Tough Crew material that was done during the golden years, during the golden era of hip-hop? So you're getting classic songs that were never released by a classic group who has now withstood the test of time and become sort of, timeless.
Yeah, I mean, and it's definitely not a lot of music out there that could, considered to be timeless, man, and definitely, Tough Crew has got, timeless hits, man, and then to actually have 10 years, man, of unreleased material, man, wow.
We also just released on Solid Ground a record called Backed by Dope Demand. On the record it's called Rock On, which features Tone Love, T.O. the Teacher, and Overlord Ice Dog. And they go in over top of a remake of the Going the Distance intro off of the Rec Shop album, off of the Tough Crew Rec Shop album. So that's a nice banger. You can go online and find that. It's released by Solid Ground, and it's called Backed by Dope Demand or Rock On. Either one, you can find either one on YouTube.
No doubt. Now, will there be any plans to tour and everything once the other music is released?
I've been contacted. Like when I go on Facebook, as soon as I open my Facebook page, and by the way, Facebook for me, I have been at like 496 friends for like the last 3 months. So people who are on my friend list in Facebook, I usually go back, and if I don't see any interaction between me and that person, I will unfriend them and add the newest. Like right now I have about 46 friend requests, and I'm at 4,996. Wow. I have 4 slots to fit 46 new people in, and usually those new people are where the bookings come from. Facebook has been a tremendous tool for me just to book shows, make money, and sell merchandise. So as far as the UK, Amsterdam, Germany, Spain, Wales, Sweden, Denmark, places like that, Holland, we are in real high demand to get over there and do a tour, because Ultramagnetic recently toured all of those spots. So I have been in negotiations with Corinne from Sabotage, who put together the Ultramagnetic tour over there. So hopefully, we keep our fingers crossed and we end up blessing the UK, the United Kingdom, and the European crowd who have long since represented Tough Crew, because, over in Europe, they kind of appreciate the golden age music more. Right. Not to say that Lil Wayne doesn't perform over there, but they have more of an appreciation and a respect factor for golden era groups like Public Enemy, Tough Crew, Big Daddy Kane, Ultramagnetic, like pioneers. So I'm definitely looking forward to going overseas.
Yeah, definitely. And, just from, like you said, the golden era is still major in the UK and overseas, and it gets more, and just from our website alone, when we got the Pioneer Series started, we can go in and check the analytics of it and see where the most hits are coming from. And we get a ton of hits, man, from right over in Germany and the UK. And, I mean, they love the, they still love the scene of, the golden era. So, I mean, it's great that, groups like the Tuff Crew and Public Enemy, man, and the Naughty by Natures can still go over there, man, and be able to break bread. I mean, that's, and do very well.
Yeah, they overseas, Japan, the UK, and Europe show more of an appreciation for classic hip hop than the States do, actually.
They do.
The States are kind of has been engulfed by the Dirty South wave. Has been going on for about 10 years now, maybe 15 years. That this Dirty South has pretty much ruled hip hop. I mean, if you go and if I drive into New York from Philly, they're playing Gucci Mane and Lil Wayne and Waka Flocka Flame and Future on New York radio stations in heavy rotation. So a lot of the styles, at least as far as the radio is concerned, which is kind of a brainwashing tool in my opinion.
Right.
Corporations run it now. I mean, it's not the grassroots hip hop acts that make dope material that gets radio play now. So you look more along the lines of Immortal Technique, Jedi Mind Tricks, Outer Space, groups like that who command the underground, reach the lost cause. That's more along the styles of who are not going to get radio play, but who still represent the true element of hip hop.
Exactly. And then and not only that, you were mentioning going into New York and hearing pretty much Dirty South, records during the golden era when you had people like Red Alert in New York and Lady B in Philly. I mean, they were responsible for breaking a lot of records, man, and keeping hip-hop alive and around. I mean, and now it's just, like you said, it's more of a corporate situation, and, they're phasing out of a lot of the radio stations that were so-called the mom and pops who, could, do what they want and break a lot of these records. I mean, but now you got this machine such as Clear Channel that's pretty much running everything.
Yeah, it's sort of like a cookie-cutter industry now, because if somebody makes a hit, they want to push that artist to make another hit exactly in the same mold of how they made the beat and how they dropped the lyrics. So if they made a hit with auto-tune and a Fruity Loops-based beat, then they're basically pushing the artist to continue to make the same type of tracks along that same type of style because they hit the jackpot once, so they figure they could push it right through and maybe get a second jackpot. And there are groups still in New York, like Styles P, Havoc and Prodigy from Mobb Deep, Joel Ortiz, Slaughterhouse, and there also are groups from Philly such as, Beanie Siegel and Petey Crack who are really close friends of ours that still stick to the script with the golden era, style beats.
Right. And that's definitely what we look at.
It just doesn't get played on the radio. Like they say, real hip hop isn't on the radio. Well, it depends on what radio station you're listening to, because if you're listening to a corporately funded radio station, then you're not going to hear it. But as far as a lot of major internet radio stations, they still go the hard way and give you exactly what you need for your hip hop fix, actually.
Exactly.
And one radio station that definitely plays all the hits and all the underground stuff is Glockaware Radio, where I do a show every Thursday from 8 to 10 on Glockaware Radio. And you can tune into that show at www.glockaware.com. I usually do 3 15-minute sets on there of raw, unadulterated, golden school fire.
No doubt. Definitely got to, put that out there to the masses, the ones who hungry and looking for that hip-hop. We still got it. I mean, it's there. And brothers like yourself, man, we definitely appreciate you. Like I said, the pioneers, the heroes who paved the way, man, and still continuously putting in work, man. And it's not going unnoticed. I don't want to seem like I'm an old man and I'm caught up in strictly golden era stuff, which is to say that I'm a DJ and I perform at 8 parties every month. So obviously I have to play what are the hits. I don't dislike the new music. Some of it I do. Some of it I refuse to play and I won't play it. But you have to look at it like for the time period that we grew up in and we created music in, that was the in style, and we made our own mark, which was our personal mark through music on the world. So now you have the up-and-coming artists who have their own style and their own agenda, and they want to put their own stamp on their,
version of hip hop, which is 2013. So it's not to put them down. It's just to signify that there's definitely a profound difference in the production and in the rhymes.
No doubt. I mean, and that's just where it is. I mean, and that's you're dead on with that. I mean, that's exactly where it is. Now let's put it out here for the fans who now you did put out the website for the radio show that you do. Let's put out the if you got a website for yourself, for Tuff Crew, where they can find you on Facebook, and then definitely where we can find this music that that you're still releasing. I mean, that you got that's coming out.
Well, my SoundCloud page is doing really well, and I was just informed by a real great friend of mine who goes by the name of DJ Sat1 of the Scratch Mechanics, who actually I just got in tandem with him, and he created a My Part of Town trap remix, which will bring the whole My Part of Town and Tuff Crew flavor up into the new school level, because we did a trap remix, and it's really crazy. Definitely, I mean, like we just stepped our game up. Sat's been using it for a while, but I actually just switched over from using the MPC 2500 to Ableton Live, and the warp feature on Ableton Live, how you can stretch beats through time stretch and pitch bends and stuff like that is just really amazing to me. So you can check us out on www.dj2tuff.com. That's www.dj2tuff.com. My Facebook page is probably the most, visited site that I am able to touch base with my fans personally, because any chat that comes in or any personal message that I get, I always answer that personally. You got a lot of artists out there who have a Facebook page run by a street team, so you never really get to talk to that artist personally. But I've been shown a tremendous amount of respect and love just for answering my own inbox messages and actually talking to the people on chat on Facebook. You can check me out on Facebook.com/DJ Too Tuff. And also, we got the Twitter popping at DJ TOOTUFF at DJ Too Tuff. So, but like I was saying, the SoundCloud page is also at DJ Too Tuff. And the SoundCloud page is where I usually leak a lot of stuff, like beats that I'm working on, artists that I have in the wings that I plan on putting out mixtapes on. I have a couple artists that I'm doing songs with now that I released a mixtape on an artist named Alka Beats, actually formerly known as Alka. Alcatraz, the Death Star. They changed his name a various amount of times, but he's a really talented artist. Like I said, I do have a mixtape out on him called DJ Too Tuff's Escape from Alcatraz. Work with another artist in Philly named All Purpose, a tremendous artist out of South Jersey. Calls himself Screw Tape. Just released a new album called Scumbag Millionaires. So you could Google all of that, or you could check it out on YouTube. And shout out to my man Juvie D. And, Ice Dog, Overlord Ice Dog, TL the Teacher, LA Kid, Bonnie G, original Tuff Crew members. And, again, a shout-out to Mike Check Media for taking the time and showing the interest to grab a, old head like myself and bringing me back into the relevant part of hip-hop. So I really appreciate the time that I spent with you guys today.
Hey, no doubt, brother. We definitely, like I said, appreciate you. I mean, you're one of the heroes, man. You pioneers who paved the way, and we definitely appreciate you taking time out to definitely, talk with us and discuss and talk about the Tuff Crew and all of the stuff that you got coming up now. I mean, which is, hugely exciting, and it's, definitely exciting for us to be able to be a part of that and, to help push that, man, and keep this music thing going that you got going, man. So we definitely appreciate you.
Most thankful to you, man. Most gracious and most thankful to you. God bless you guys, man.
No doubt. Hey, this your man, K Boogie, Mike Check Media. You heard it first. DJ Too Tuff, legendary Tuff Crew. We out of here, baby. Peace.
Rock on.
Microphone check, microphone